kills, and more kills. 260,000 plus kills to be exact. That's how many the number 1 Ballistic and number 2 Ash in the world have. And we have both of them here today because, well, these two legends just got insane buffs and are the most peaked, most fun, and most insane legends in the game right now. So they're going to show us their gameplay, stats, biggest tips and tricks, and secrets for their legends, which may include how to counter those pesky snares and those silly Ballistic tactical whistle things. So without further ado, let's do it.
I ain't slept in months, y'all. I so red I can't see what's real. Roll me up a blunt, dog.
And here they are. We have the number 1 Ballistic vUniqueeTV. He has almost 135,000 kills on Ballistic. He got 31,500 of those in a single season, season 19. And he also has 170,000 headshots. That's a lot of headshots. And while we'll talk to him soon, let's go talk to our other man first, the number 2 Ash in the entire world. Swytchers, who I'm sure is very happy because Ash is like the most fun, most played legend in all of Apex right now. He himself has 130,000 kills on Ash, with almost 42,000 of those being his kill leader. Also, look at his banner. It is absolutely insane. Anyway, let's go talk Ash with him. Ash got a lot of changes with the new season, a couple to herself and, of course, a couple to being an Assault Legend now because they got a bunch of buffs. What do you think are the best perks for Ash?
Yeah, so before the nerf, I would have definitely picked the movement perks because they had them aligned up to where you can pick double dash and the double ult, and that made it really strong. But now I would definitely say it's greedy snare, and then I use the double dash for pubs because more so I don't feel like I don't need a double ult. I feel like I'm just going to be dashing around, just kind of having fun and chilling. But when it comes to ranked, I feel like double ult definitely is a lot better because you can kind of like angle around like, you know, mountains and walls because you can phase forward and then cut the corner and phase the next direction, kind of like get you and your team out of a situation.
Yeah, I think it's actually insane how much like repositioning you can do with Ash now, whether it's aggressive, whether it's, you know, defensive and running away or just taking angles, no matter what. Like, she is so much utility now with her abilities. It's actually insane.
Yeah, it's very nice for a character that's, at least lore-wise, so aggressive now to play extremely aggressive. There was a couple of games that I've dashed in and ported my wife out, and then whenever I ported her out, I snared into the port, and then I let her crawl a few feet and I ported her away so that way the teams couldn't chase us.
That's smart, that's smart. I mean, she's pretty good to combo. Like, Ash is good to combo with her abilities as well, because you can portal, like you said, then you can stop them chasing you. Or you can portal and then snare it on the other side, and they're just stuck there with a nade or something when they come through chasing you. She's like really good at it. Okay, well, interesting question. Do you think she's overpowered at the moment? Do you think she needs any nerfs?
She was overpowered, and I think the nerf was definitely needed. I think she was extremely broken. I mean, she had, 29% pick rate, the highest ever of any legend in Apex history. She's the most picked. It was absolutely insane. So crazy going from a legend that was so bad for so long to now being the highest picked ever. As of right now, I think she's fine. I think 10 seconds is quite long. I see a lot of people complain about her portal being super like distance-wise long, like being 100 meters and having 2 charges. But my opinion, I feel like she still should be really good and not just nerfed into the ground after just only a week or 2 of her being really strong. So I don't think she needs a nerf right now.
One thing though, for example, say maybe when you take the perk that gives you 2 portals, would you say that maybe it could decrease the portal length to like 75? So the same as like Gibby. When Gibby picks like the faster bubble, it gets smaller.
Yeah, mobile did a thing where I wouldn't mind. I initially was the one that was asking for her to get split charge, which is essentially her first portal goes max distance and her second portal goes half the distance. So if it's 100, then the second one would only go at 50. I wouldn't, if they nerfed it to that, I wouldn't be mad about it either.
Yeah, I like that. What do you think are the best weapons to use on her at the moment? Is it just like going to be like L-Star because the L-Star is so good?
I don't want to say L-Star Eva because everybody uses that. Me personally though, I run the old reliable R400 combo, R301, R9. I love the R9. It's amazing on the ground again, so I just love, super satisfying to one-clip people with it.
I feel like SMGs are really good now. The only thing was like the Eva was so strong that people weren't really using SMGs, but the Eva got a little nerf last night. So like SMGs are now a lot better. Just the Eva's still strong, but it's not as good.
Yeah, it's still super strong, still a good shotgun, but yeah, I'm an SMG crutch, so I'm always using SMGs.
Yeah, no, I love SMGs.
The Volt and the R9.
Yeah, definitely. The Volt feels so nice this season. I love it. Awesome.
It does.
With Ash's dash, would you give that to every legend in the game, or do you think it's something that needs to stay, select on only a few legends or just Ash?
No, I've seen a lot of people talk about that. Pro players, casuals, whoever it may be. I think that is a terrible idea. I don't think you can just give somebody something so unique as a dash and then just be like, oh, because it's so fun, let's give it to somebody else. I mean, I guess by that standard, then Horizon has a passive that is extremely broken that no one else has, and that's the stun reduction when she lands. And if we were to give her that dash that Ashe also has on top of that, she would be extremely broken. You'd never catch her. Imagine Pathy grappling, and then when he hits the floor, he then dashes away, or Revenant pouncing and then dashing away. You'd never be able to catch anybody.
Well, I think this is an obvious question, but is Ashe the strongest she's ever been in Apex? But quickly, before he answers that, then goes into his biggest tips and tricks for Ashe, how to master her, secret things no one knows about her, and so much more. Let's have a look at his stats. So sadly, Apex have changed the layout of when you look at your stats and you can't see your banner on the left side anymore, which sucks, may I add. But I have a picture of his banner and I chuck it over the top right now. So in total, you can see he has almost 130,000 kills on Ashe. Then also has 42,000 kills as kill leader, which is insane. Also, I just want to point out, how good does his banner look? It looks insane. Now jumping over to his overall stats, he has almost 50,000 games played, which is a lot. And then 11,500 wins, which is a great ratio for wins to games played. 53.5 million damage in total, with almost 9,000 as his highest, 1,100 as his average basically, and a 5 KD with 210,000 kills in total. I believe that puts him top 50 in the world for kills in all of Apex. Highest ever kills of 42, going to assume that was during like 3 strikes or something. 12 is his longest win streak, which is a big feat. That's a very, very high total win streak. Jumping over to this season, he has almost 600 games played already, which is a lot. 127 wins, not bad. Almost 1 million damage, 3,500 kills, 1,500 average ADR, almost a 5 KD, 32 was his highest, 6 win streak. Honestly, there's some very good and impressive stats, which you can tell he got by being a good player due to the gameplay in the background right now. Well, I think this is an obvious question, but is Ashe the strongest she's ever been in Apex?
Yes, she is S tier. She is the strongest character in the game by far. Nobody even comes close. And I absolutely love it.
I completely agree. Do you think Greedy Snare is one of the strongest abilities in the entire game as well?
Yeah, it's completely broken. I'm shocked they didn't do anything to it, and I'm super happy when I logged on and see they didn't take that perk away. I was like, thank you.
It is so strong. What do you think the best playstyle for Ashe is?
Aggressive. You need to be ultra aggressive. I've been playing the new mode, Redemption, and I've been dropping like 30 bombs. I just dropped like 32 kills like 30 minutes ago before you had joined up. It's insane, just the chaos and the, like you said, repositioning and how aggressive you can be with her kit constantly, and then you pair that with like the Arthur 1 Hornet, the Hornet version, and it replenishes your tactical, so you're always snaring people, and it gives you a bit of your ult charge back, so you constantly just have a portal to zoom around the map.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Ashe's kit is so versatile now, so you can play so aggressive with it. You just have so much potential to get out from her dash to her ult, even just to like the area control, like controlling doorways and stuff with her tactical. She's just ridiculously good at being like stalling out fights, running away from fights if needed, but then just being aggressive, she can just do so much as well. It's crazy. Yeah,
she's just completely versatile. Just a Swiss Army knife is the best way to describe her. She can do it all.
What about counters? Counters dash. Is there any big counters?
She only has one counter, and it's been her biggest thing since the beginning of the game. But although she has escape abilities and get out of jails, they're not really get out of jail free cards. They may be sometimes, but it's just overflowing her, like overstimulating her, like just constant teams pushing on her if she doesn't have like her dash. You know, with it being 10 seconds now, like I've gotten caught in the open a couple of times. You know, with that cooldown being there, or I might not have my port yet. It's just constant teams, really. You just gotta kind of send 2 or 3 people at her, because with her dash, she's easily the strongest 1v1 legend in the game. You're probably not gonna win.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. What are the best legends to combo with her at the moment, do you think?
That's a hard one. Let's see. I gotta look at this. I would say the best combo for me is what I had been running in ranked was it was Ashe, Bangalore, and Loba. I feel like those are the best. Oh, I'm sorry, not Bangalore. Ballistic. Ballistic is really strong.
Ballistic's crazy at the moment.
Yeah, Ballistic with his ult and the super speed, and he's constantly bulleting people, and you have fast reloads, and you have increased movement speed, and I have my dash. I'm just unhittable, undetectable, getting in, cleaning up fights, and I'm getting out.
Yeah, no, completely. Okay, well, what would your 3 biggest tips and tricks be for Ashe? Or any amount of tips and tricks, if you got a bunch.
Number 1 is to play aggressive, but play aggressive off first snare. A lot of the times I snare and I single people out. If you see somebody away from the team, I'll snare them and I'll dash in there and I'll kill them, and then I'll dash back to my team while they cover me. That's the biggest thing with the dash, is always using that aggressively or just to get out as well. When you're swinging corners, the biggest thing I've done is I'll use shotguns, preferably the Eva. And people always like try to pre-fire a corner, so what I'll do is I'll dash out instead of swinging out, and that always throws their aim off. And I have a shotgun, there's no recoil, so I spray the shotgun midair. And normally I put them down pretty quickly. And I would use her portals more so as a repositioning tool or to play off of knocks. This TTK is super fast, so if your teammates are down, it's 100 meters, and 9 times out of 10 people are going to take the portal because they got a knock. And I would snare the end of it, and now you always have greedy snare because it's a blue perk. And with the TTK, you're just going to delete people when they come through that. And it's 100 meters, so unless they're taking it all triple together, you're going to separate the team pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, yeah. Would you have one more tip?
I would just use all of her kit. I mean, she still has the Death Box perk. I play off of that a lot. I always look at the maps and, you know, I'm keeping an eye on like where thirds are going or where my next rotations will be. And I have her port. They're 100 meters apiece. And so I'm always, you know, get in, get out, you know, use a port.
That passive of hers is like one of the most underrated things as well. You can just like, you know where thirds are going to come from. You know where to rotate to get kills. You know the best ways to rotate into zone a lot of the time as well, just knowing where people are, etc. It's so good at passive. People like undervalue it.
You can plan so much ahead of time, and that's basically what her kit's all about, is planning 2 steps ahead.
I mean, and there are also super simple things you can do with Ashe as well. It's like, you know, when you snare someone, you can stack nades on it to, you know, combo that and kill them. All the simple stuff everyone should be doing.
I'm glad you said that. The biggest, most underrated buff of the Assault class, specifically for me as an Ashe main, I always use Arc Stars. So me having 2 free slots for Arc Stars is beautiful. Free every single time, no bag, don't matter.
I don't like that change. I'll say it. I think it's too strong. Like, I think nades are like the strongest thing in the game. I love nades. I'm the biggest nade lover. I love them so much. The fact that the Soul Legends can have extra ammo in every stack and 2 nades spare now, like extra, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. I agree. It's extremely broken. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm about to go crazy with the snares.
Yeah, literally, it's nuts. What do you think about the aspect of, like, they nerfed Pathfinder into the ground movement-wise, and then they've been giving movement to other legends like Lobo, now Ashe? Do you find that weird?
Yeah, I don't think that's a very good thing to do. I don't think they should be nerfing characters just to get the other legends just to shine or their pick rate up. I think all legends should be valuable together, because a big reason why Ashe was even remotely picked a couple seasons back, I saw people like His Watson running Ashe in ranked and stuff like that, was because she was paired up with people like Valkyrie when she got her big changes of like the scan perk from her jetpack, you know, skydiving and seeing people through walls. It's just like, it kind of like negates the flexibility and the variety of like combinations you can throw together with Ashe, because you're just constantly nerfing a bunch of people. I mean, I couldn't imagine, you know, people like, you know, rev pouncing, Ashe dashing, and Revenant and passive grappling all onto somebody at once. It'd be pretty fun, in my opinion, if it's like super movement.
No, definitely. All right, what about you? You're about to hit 130,000 kills on Ashe. You just gonna keep kill grinding? You're gonna grind Pred again at any point, or what are your goals, or what are your thoughts with Ashe at the moment, or what are you planning to do?
I was playing Pred. I'm currently Pred at the moment. I think I'm going to not play ranked because I think it's just mentally draining sometimes, and the L-Star has driven me into a wall. So I think I'm good on that part. But kill grinding, I think I'll keep stacking kills on her. I'm having a lot of fun with her kit. It's first time she's ever been this majorly buffed, and she's extremely strong. And I've always said, like, imagine if what I could do with Ashe if she ever became extremely strong. And with this redemption trios, it's just you kill farm, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of chaos. And they have multiple new LTMs coming within the next few weeks, so I look forward to that. That's probably what I'm going to be doing, is grinding a lot of kills on her. Damn it. Oh my god. What could have been?
Now, as promised, here are Swytchers controller settings in case you guys want to see what they are or maybe use them yourselves. And if you want to keep up to date with Swytchers, or you have any questions for him yourself about Ashe or anything at all, make sure you go drop him a follow on all his socials and catch him when he's live. Now, it is time for Ballistic. And of course, our #1 Ballistic in the entire world is Unique. As you can see, he's a multi-times Apex predator by his absolutely amazing looking banner. He got over 31,500 kills in a single season. He has almost 135,000 kills in total on Ballistic. He is an absolute Ballistic GOAT. So let's go talk to him. Alright, so Ballistic got an absurd amount of changes recently. Taking all those changes into consideration, what do you think are the best perks now for Ballistic?
The best perks, I would say, is the blue one increase 15 seconds for the ult is really good. It's so strong because usually when you have ballistic ult and usually like the 30-second mark is over, if you have like a car or any accelerator gun, you could literally get your ult back by downing people. Ooh, the purple one, it's hard. I like the 4 bullets is really nice, but I don't know. I like both of them because the other one, you bullet someone and you overheat their gun and they can't use their abilities for 6 seconds.
That's a long time to be silenced for.
Yeah, they're both good. I think I prefer the silence perk more.
Really? Okay. I think it depends maybe a little bit on your playstyle and if you like solo queuing or not, maybe as well. Because I feel like the ability to shoot four tacticals is crazy. Does that mean if I tactical someone 4 times, it's 50 damage in total if they overheat themselves each time?
Yeah, you can lay put someone to 1 HP with the bullet.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. So what do you think of Ballistic's changes all up? Do you think they were too much? Do you think he's too OP now? Or do you think he's about right? Or what are your thoughts there?
I think he deserved it, but they silently buffed the the overheat. It's like, feels like 3 or 4 seconds because the hand animation is like longer than last season. I feel like it's unintended, but I'm not sure. They didn't add in the patch notes, but he's really strong. I think the only problem is how long it is to shake your hand.
Because the shaking your hand, even if you don't have the purple perk with silence, you still can't use abilities when shaking your hand. Do you think the ultimate buff was too much? Like so the speed boost from his ultimate and the increase in the ultimate for longer time now with every kill, or do you think that's okay?
I'm pretty sure that's okay. Maybe like nerf the speed boost just a little bit, but I think it's good.
Okay,
It's balanced, in my opinion.
What do you think are the best weapons to use on Ballistic? Obviously, it depends a little bit on your own playstyle. But are there certain weapons that you think suit him best, especially in the sling?
I like SMGs. I'm an SMG crutch, so I love it. The L-Star is really strong in the sling. The Rampage, I used to use a ton, and it's good. And Rampage got buffed. It's like 25 a shot or something like that. And it comes revved up, but there is a bug with Ballistic ult where if you level up your armor with a Rampage revved up, it will literally switch to a regular Rampage if you level up to purple or blue.
Oh, it removes the charge.
Yeah, it removes the charge. It's a bug, but other than that, I like using SMGs. Sometimes a Rampage, the L-Star.
No, I vibe that completely. And that's because you're an aggressive player, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm an aggressive player.
Well, do you think, playstyle-wise, it's best to be like an aggressive player as Ballistic, or do you think it's, maybe better to be more passive, or what are your thoughts?
In my opinion, it's better to be aggressive because you can play off the overheat and you can just like control the fight just because they can't shoot their gun when they overheat, or they have to be careful shooting.
I agree completely. Every time I look at Ballistic, over the few times I play him, he's just like a 1v1 machine. Like, you can't, it's so hard to lose a 1v1 if you're Ballistic, unless you get like third party shot or something unlucky happens. Because if you just play around your abilities and when they're whistled, like, it's so hard for them to do anything.
Yeah, and a lot of people just try to just run away until the whistle effect is gone.
I was going to ask you about that actually. What do you think is the best counter to the whistle effect? Do you think it is running away, or do you prefer just to shoot straight through it and take the damage? Or is it, I guess, situational?
It's very situational, but a lot of times if the enemy is far away, shooting your gun is worth it. I mean, it'll take 50 damage off your shield, but you won't have the overheat. You can use shotguns. Shotguns are a really good counter to the bullet. We're just running away.
Because it takes so many bullets to actually overheat yourself?
Yeah, and you can just play cover.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think Ballistic's at the strongest point he's ever been right now?
Oh, definitely, for sure.
What do you think are the best counters to Ballistic, if there are any? But quickly, before he answers that, giving us one of the only few really good counters to Ballistic's silly kit, and then goes on to tell us his biggest tips and tricks for Ballistic and how to master the legend, let's have a look at his stats. So sadly, Apex have changed how your stats look when you click on your account, so you can't see his banner on the left, but I'll put his banner over the top of his max account level right there. Now, honestly, that's a good looking banner. The Pred badges with the Pred banner frame honestly looks amazing. He's got top 173 top 175 pred, 20 bomb badge in the middle. He got 31,500 kills in a single season in season 19. That is a hell of a lot of kills, and I believe a Ballistic world record for most kills ever in a season. In total, he has 134,000 kills on Ballistic with a hell of a lot of headshots. Then jumping over to his main and full account stats, he has 42,000 games played with a 9,000 career wins, which is a decent ratio, honestly, a pretty good ratio. He has 45 million damage in total, 177,000 kills, so 40 odd thousand kills not on Ballistic. I'm assuming before Ballistic came out, most likely. His highest ever damage is 8.5 thousand. Also in the comments below, let me know, what's your highest ever damage in Apex and what game mode did you get it in? His average damage per round is almost 1,100, which is ridiculously high. 4.5 KD, which is good. Highest ever kills of 37. I'm gonna assume that was probably in 3 strikes. 11 longest win streak, which is absolutely amazing. Then we jump over to this season. 500 games, 175 wins, which is a very good ratio. Almost 7 KD, 1500 ADR, highest kills of 30. He's been absolutely farming. God damn. So that's all of his stats. But if you want to see his insane controller settings that he used to, well, get all these, make sure you stick around to the end of the video. What do you think are the best counters to Ballistic, if there are any?
Counters to Ballistic. I mean, ability-wise, when you can't overheat, would definitely be Rampart, since you can just use a turret.
Also, Sheila doesn't count as a weapon? That doesn't overheat?
No, it doesn't count as a weapon.
Okay. That's cool. I don't know if there really are any other counters to Ballistic though, really. No direct ones, at least.
Not really.
No, not really at all. Yeah. Apart from the interaction with Ballistic's ult and the weapon you have in the sling, are there any other bugs or glitches or issues with Ballistic currently or in the past that you can think of? Have there been any major ones?
There have been quite a few. Sometimes when I bullet somebody and like someone jumps like Vantage or Pathfinder, it literally deflects away from them. I don't know why it does that. Yeah, I've seen so many times where I bullet somebody directly, it locks on, and they jump away and it just deflects away from them.
That's so weird.
Hit them.
What do you think are the best legends to combo with Ballistic? So, you know, if you were playing, I guess, ranked, or you were playing, you know, maybe comp of some sort, what do you think are the best legends to have as your teammates?
I think Ash right now is really good with Ballistic because you can snare and you can bullet somebody. And in my opinion, I just like having a lifeline.
Agreed.
Just having that support.
Ballistic-wise, obviously you're number 1 Ballistic, so what would your 3 biggest tips be? They can be extremely basic tips that, you know, something you don't see people doing enough, or they can be, you know, high skill tips. But what would your biggest 3 or biggest few tips be to someone that wants to play Ballistic?
Use your Ballistic tech against doors or walls where you predict where your enemy is gonna go, so they can't just directly push on to you.
So would you say that's like a space control thing? Like it works as well if you're like if you're healing, for example, somewhere, you can do it on a door so they can't push in, etc.
Yeah, it's a space control thing. Before these Ballistic buffs, I used to use the lasting bullet where it triples the time it takes to disappear. And that was like a huge like space control thing before all these Ballistic buffs came in. So I used to use that a lot.
Yep.
I use the ult increase now.
Yeah, I got that. Any other big tips and tricks?
Learn how to curve your bullets, because I know a lot of Ballistic who don't know how to curve. And it's really not that hard. If you see a guy, I lock onto them, and it depends on where they're located. Like if someone's on the roof, I lock on them and then literally point straight up into the air, and hopefully it hits. Because depending on the angle, it will hit. Sometimes it won't. It's just learning how to curve your bullet. And I noticed the other day, the bullet can actually go through a staircase.
Oh, like through the little gaps.
Yeah, through the little gap. It's crazy.
That is crazy. So with the curving of the bullet, so for example, if there was someone in front of me behind like a small object and I've locked onto them, I wouldn't necessarily shoot straight up in the air because they could play close to the object and it would still hit the object. But I could like shoot out to the right and then it would curve round. Would it work like that?
Yeah, you can either curve to the left or right. So like if they're like more lean to the left of the object, then you definitely should go to the left, you know.
Okay, no, I like that. I never thought about that. I've always just shot it straight up. But that, you're really right. Curving it to the sides is actually really smart. I like that. Any other tips, or was that about it?
A lot of times when I push people behind objects and I can't get an angle on them, I lay put the bullet right next to the object on one side and then push the other side. So they would either have to hit my bullet or they would have to fight against me.
Yeah, that's smart. Once again, with like the space control kind of vibes. I like that. Okay, well, if you had to rank Ballistic on a tier, so imagine all the legends were on a tier list, and Ballistic was going to go on that, starting at, S is the highest rank down to like F is the lowest. Where would you rank Ballistic?
I think he's in A tier. I wouldn't say he's an S tier because he doesn't have the ability to reposition himself. He's like just a run and gun kind of character.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people like the movement and a lot of people like the abilities where you can like get cover or like easily get out of situations. Ballistic doesn't have that ability. He has to run and gun. He has to bullet somebody.
I mean, and that goes into the playstyle a lot as well, why you said you have to be aggressive, because he doesn't have the ability to get out of trouble if he does get into trouble, for example. I agree with that, yeah. Well, okay, a little bit different of a question. What do you think is the best skin for Ballistic out of all the skins he has?
Favorite skin? I like Wistful Wise Guy. Is that black and gold skin with the mask? I like that a lot.
Okay, well, if Ballistic was to get an heirloom, which he might at some point, who knows, what would you like Ballistic's heirloom to be, or what do you think it will be?
I think he would have Brass Knuckles as his heirloom.
I think that'd be so cool. Okay, well, a little bit different questions. What about yourself? Why did you originally start to grind Ballistic?
I originally decided to grind Ballistic because I wanted to get my name out there. I didn't really have anyone to play with, so I was like, maybe I'll just kill grind. And it was just minor. It was like, I was just gonna plan for 10k, but I instead went for 30 for my first season.
You got 30k in your first season on Ballistic. What season was that? What season did he come out?
Season 17.
Okay, that's a 5. That's a lot of kills in a season. God damn, nice. Well, obviously you're the number one Ballistic. You've got about what 130k on him now, I believe.
134, yes.
Yeah. You've been pred a bunch of times. You've done most things within Apex. What are your goals from here? Do you just going to keep grinding and having fun, or do you want to go get more pred badges, or what are you going to do in the future with Ballistic and whatnot, or just with Apex?
I think I'm just gonna... Next season, I'll probably get my 3rd pred badge. This season, I'm gonna go for 150k. Maybe go for 200 by the end of the year, but we'll see.
That's awesome, Alex. Okay, well, what do you think about legend trackers being removed? I asked this to like a lot of people I do these videos with, because I loved like seasonal legend trackers. How many kills you got in the season, how many wins you got in the season. Were you sad when they got rid of them, or what are your thoughts there?
It was really disappointing. Like, a lot of people had motivation to like kill grind because those seasonal trackers were there and they were cool. They have different colors. But now that it's gone, it's just like, where's the motivation at?
Yeah,
What's the point?
It gave so many people a reason to play the game, and it didn't matter whether you were a massive kill grinder getting 30k kills a season like you, or whether you were just like the average player getting like 1 or 2k. It was still something to work towards. It showed off what you got, and it was just good. Everyone loved it. It'd be so cool now if you could mix and match the colors behind them and flex them on your banner, but they just removed them all. It makes no sense. It's so weird. If you couldn't play Ballistic, who would you play?
If I couldn't play Ballistic, who would I play? I would definitely play either Horizon or Alter.
Ooh, Alter. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like the Portal gameplay. I played her in solos and it was actually really fun.
I mean, Horizon's obvious because, maybe like you're about to say, but Horizon's obvious because her movement's insane. Her passives are ridiculous. She's so fun.
Yeah, it's crazy how good her passive is. The movement and then the ult gameplay, you can just do a lot with her kit.
Definitely. I like the Alter pick though. Not many people say that, and I feel like Alter's like an underplayed legend in Apex. I feel like she has so much potential with her tactical and even her ult. She has so much potential, but like no one's playing her. She's a really cool legend.
Yeah, she's really cool. Her ports are just so good.
Yeah, 100%. And finally, here are our number 1 Go Ballistics controller settings. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned a couple of things about Ash and Ballistic. And big thank you to our two goats that came out and did the video with me. Make sure you guys drop them both a follow. They're absolute legends. You guys will love them. They both stream, so make sure you go give them a watch. And finally, I've done most legends for these types of videos now. Are there any legends I haven't done that you would like to see? Are there any legends I should do updated videos on this based on? Let me know what you guys want. Keep being amazing, keep being awesome, and much love.